Have you ever experienced this before? You're somewhere going about your business, walking around, and then all of a sudden you notice this cute girl. She notices you too, and she's smiling at you. And you think to yourself, oh, I should go say something to her. But then you freeze. Your heart starts pounding. You start sweating a little bit. You start getting really nervous. Your body tenses up. Your mind is filled with fear and anxiety. Oh, what do I do? What do I say? And next thing you know, the moment has passed. She's gone now. She's walked past you. And now you're sitting there spending the rest of your day kicking yourself, wishing you had done something, wishing you had the confidence to go up and say hello. This was me for most of my life. And then about 9-10 years ago, I finally had enough and decided to just jump in the deep end and start forcing myself to go out and talk to women and get over this fear, to actually get over my fears, my anxieties, put myself out there and become a part of the dating market. And I failed. I failed a lot. So many cringe and awkward moments that I'm literally gonna have to make a separate video for. I can't even get into all of it right now. It's just too much cringe for me to talk about right now. But once I took a step back and thought about my interactions and started analyzing them, I began to understand why I kept failing, why I was being so awkward and so cringy. And once I understood that, starting a conversation with any woman became easy. Now I can just go up to a woman no matter what she looks like, just start a conversation like that. And I want to share all of this with you, this big mindset shift that I had, so that you don't have to repeat all the same mistakes that I did. My number one problem was this: I was insecure. Every time I would go up to a woman, subconsciously I was trying to make them like me. I was trying to prove myself to them, to raise their interest level in me. That's why I came across as so awkward, so try hard, so inauthentic, because I was being inauthentic. I didn't actually care about what was happening or what was being said in our conversation. I was just so desperately seeking validation and approval from somewhere outside of myself. So a lot of dudes nowadays can't talk to women because they're doing the same thing. They're trying too hard. They're trying too hard to get women to like them through the words they say or through the pickup lines that they're using. And when you're doing too much, you're not even having a real conversation. It just turns into some NPC-ass conversation. It just turns into an interview, basically, where you're asking a question and then you're not really paying attention to what she's saying. You're just thinking in your head about what's the next thing I gotta say, what's the next thing I gotta say. And then you can't actually connect with her. You're not comfortable and present in the moment, so it becomes this sort of transactional interaction. You're too attached to the number, too attached to getting her to like you, to getting something out of this interaction, that you're not able to just enjoy the conversation, the interaction for what it is. You're not able to just relax and go with the flow. You just really gotta let the story unfold. You gotta let it happen. Any conversation in any interaction you have with someone, regardless of whether it's with a woman you find attractive or not, always flow, never force. You can't make somebody like you. There's either a natural attraction or connection there, or there isn't. You can't just create it out of thin air. And also understand that things could be somewhere in the middle too. Not every interaction you have with a woman needs to be some sort of sexual or romantic interaction. Perhaps you're better off being friends with this woman. Perhaps you and her could be some sort of business partner. You know, there are a lot of different types of relationships you can have with a woman that are just platonic, that are non-romantic, non-sexual. And a lot of guys kind of get afraid of that, or they think that's a bad thing, but that's just another human being. You're just connecting with another human being. And if that's what the vibe is, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with just being friends with a woman and enjoying that relationship that you have with her. You can still enjoy them and get a lot out of them in your life. You really do just need to relax and have a normal conversation. So a lot of dudes give off this needy energy because they're too tense. They're too in their heads. They're not just out here in reality, in the moment. You kind of come across as too serious, and it can be off-putting. It's like they say, you're scaring the hoes, bro. That's you're turning them off. They don't want to interact with you because you're trying too hard. You're doing too much. Some dudes will argue that it's just all about looks. You know, oh, you just got to go to the gym and get jacked, bro. Yeah, that's a part of it. You know, body game, your physique does help to attract women. But there's a reason why people refer to someone's looks as the bait. Because your physique, your face, your haircut, your clothes, that can turn a woman on and get her interested initially, but then you still got to go over and talk to her. You still got to be able to go and have a conversation. Now, if you're going around just relying on your physique and on sex appeal, that's great for just hookups, or if you just want to have a rotation of women. If you just want sex, that's perfectly fine. But a lot of dudes nowadays want more than that. They want a girlfriend. They want to meet their future wife. They want a relationship. And after the initial buzz of attraction, of physical attraction has worn off within the first few months, what do you have then after that? What kind of mental, spiritual, emotional connection do the two of you have? It's just a surface level connection because you weren't really talking and connecting as people. See, that emotional, mental connection is very important if you want a relationship with a woman, any sort of relationship. This is a little tangent, but for a lot of women, sex is more than just a physical thing. It can't just be purely about the way you look. And really, it should be that way for everyone because you're exchanging this life-giving, life-creating energy with someone else in a very intimate way. So it should be more than just purely about the physical looks, the physical attraction. For a lot of women, they need to be turned on by you, not just physically, but mentally as well. They need to be comfortable around you. So that's why a lot of girls will say that dudes aren't that good in bed because they're basically just using girls' bodies to masturbate with. They're not focused on her body or her pleasure, only their own. So then it ends up being this experience that's only fun for us, only fun for one party. A lot of women are left disappointed in the bedroom, even if they are attracted to you physically. Looks help, but they're not everything. That's just surface level. That's just the beginning. And yes, of course, the looks are clearly important because we're all sexual beings, right? Women are turned on by men's bodies just like we are turned on by women's bodies. But again, a lot of guys will lose their opportunity once the conversation starts. A lot of women will say, you know, oh, he was fine until he opened his mouth. They might think that you're attractive, but then you go up and start acting really goofy. You're really awkward. You're really insecure. You don't have the basic social skills to have just a normal conversation. She was already into you. You didn't really have to do anything. It's like in basketball, you had a wide open layup and then you just blew the layup. You bricked, dude. You hit the rim. I think on a deeper level, a lot of guys don't know how to have a basic conversation with another human being. And it hurts with women, especially because a lot of guys nowadays just view women as purely objects for sex, as some goal that can just be attained by saying a specific line or acting in a masculine way. The most masculine thing you can do as a man is radical acceptance of who you are. You being the truest expression of you and just being so comfortable and confident in your own skin, that's true masculinity. You being yourself. There's too many people, especially younger people like Gen Z. A lot of people in Gen Z, we don't have basic social skills and emotional intelligence. A lot of younger guys don't understand women because they don't understand people. And see, you don't understand people because you don't understand yourself. You keep running away from yourself. You keep running away from all your traumas, all your pains, all your insecurities. You keep distracting yourself with porn, with video games, with food, just mindless dopamine, social media, mindless escapism. You just keep running and running and running. You never deal with yourself. You never heal that relationship with yourself. And so how can you expect to have good interactions and good relationships with other people? You don't even have that with yourself. You have all this negative self-talk and a lack of belief in yourself because you keep reinforcing that. You don't believe that you can go out and talk to women as people and just be comfortable with them and actually have healthy relationships with them. And then you prove that to yourself by not going out and interacting, by being the guy in the example at the beginning of you just running away and being scared to talk to that cute girl that's looking at you and smiling at you. You're reinforcing those limiting beliefs. And then if you're distracting yourself with things like porn, or you're following a ton of, baddies on Instagram or OnlyFans or TikTok or whatever, you're even further reinforcing that objectification of women. You're viewing them as objects. You're viewing them as just something on the other side of the screen that you just use to get off, or you just use to distract yourself, get a quick hit of dopamine in your brain. And then so when you see them in real life, you can't just listen. You can't just interact. You can't ask questions. You can't actually sympathize or empathize with what they're saying. You might as well be talking to a chair or like a lamppost or something. Okay, let's do a quick little thought experiment. I want you to close your eyes and imagine that, yes, you do look good. You've been hitting the gym. You're dressing well. Yeah, you got that nice haircut like me, right? That fade. Your hygiene's on point. You're looking good, bro. But now imagine you look good, but then you see that cute girl and you start panicking again. Your heart starts pounding. Your knees weak, palms are sweaty like Eminem. You're still going up and trying way too hard. You're still going up and you're in your head. You're not actually in reality in the interaction. You're just up here. So whatever she's saying is not even like registering. You can't even actually hear all the information she's telling you. There's so many different things they tell you that could be a jumping off point. Like they might tell you where they went to school or what they did on their last vacation or what they do for work. And then there's so many questions you could ask based on that. And you can get to know them on a deeper level. But when you're in your own head, you're not hearing any of that. So you don't see any of these jumping off points to then have a greater, deeper conversation. That's why everything stays surface level. Everything stays on that small talk, NPC interview level. And that's why you can't really have a real connection with that person. You can't even see what the real vibe is. It just stays surface level. And then it's like, okay, it doesn't even matter. She's not even that interested. You just made things awkward, or you just kept things surface level. And then she just thinks, oh, like that guy just wanted to have a random conversation and that's it. A lot of dudes talk about you got to be nonchalant, you got to act mysterious. They think they're fucking Sasuke or something. They think they're Cloud from Final Fantasy. But again, it's still so clear and obvious to the other person you're talking to that you're not really interested in getting to know them. You're not really interested in talking to them. You're just there to try and get something, whether that's the number, whether that's some validation, whether that's to get a date from them, whatever it is you're trying to get. She can't really get comfortable because you're not even comfortable. You're not comfortable with who you are. You're not comfortable expressing yourself. So how can she be comfortable with you? So now let's close our eyes again. And let's imagine you're that same dude with his looks on point. You've been hitting the gym. You look good, bro. Pause. But now let's imagine you can actually have a conversation. You're actually comfortable in your own skin. You can just relax and be present in the moment. You can listen, you can laugh, you can exchange stories. You can just go with the flow. You're just observing the interaction and seeing what the vibe is and just going with the flow of that. You're not forcing it to be in any sort of direction. You're not trying to force her into liking you or into giving you the number. Actually sit back and observe, what is my connection with this person actually like? What is the vibe actually like? Again, is she showing high interest? She's engaged in the conversation. She's making good eye contact. She has good body language. She actually wants to talk to you as well and get to know you as well. Okay, great. She's showing a high level of interest. Let's go with the flow of that. Just roll with it, bro. And again, if the opposite is true, roll with that too. It's okay. You gotta be able to see women beyond sex. Don't just box every interaction with a woman into sex or no sex. I don't have the book on me, but read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I'll put it on the screen here somewhere. Read that book. One of the main tenets in that book to actually have better interactions is to be genuinely interested. I know I already said that, but it bears repeating. Be genuinely interested in other human beings. Smile. Actually look them in the eyes. Listen to what they're saying. That's not something that can be faked, that genuine interest. And when you're being real and authentic in the interaction, that makes you more attractive. Again, not that you can raise her interest or create more attraction. Of course, you can do whatever you want, but you might be missing out on some genuinely good platonic relationships that can still enhance your life if you would allow that to happen. Just let the story unfold. Let her be who she is as you are being who you are. And then the connection between you two can simply be what it is, naturally. You don't have to force it to be romantic when it's not, or you don't have to force it to be platonic when it's not. Go up and introduce yourself. Just be like, hi, my name's Aaron. I think you're very cute. I just wanted to come up and introduce myself. What's your name? Like that. Say hello, right? Smile. Make eye contact and just see what happens. Remember this, you're not approaching her to get her number or to make her like you or to raise her attraction or raise her interest level. You're just going up to her, giving her an opportunity to choose you, giving her an opportunity to show you where her interest level's at. Now, this is how you detach from the outcome of conversations, thus in turn allowing you to have better conversations. This is how you become that guy who is very comfortable talking to all kinds of women, but all kinds of people in general, and just going up and starting conversations with people. It's when you start taking care of your own issues, you start cleaning up your own life, you start healing your own traumas, when you start becoming more comfortable with who you are. Because when you're comfortable with yourself, you're not going and seeking external validation, aka you're not going and talking to people in a fake, inauthentic way that's just you trying to force them to like you. You're able to go and present the truest expression of you to this other person. And then you just sit back and you see how do they respond to you being you, not how they respond to some fake mask, some fake persona. Look, if you go up to someone and you're just being fake, you're pretending to be someone you're not, just because they think they'll like that fake version of you, let's say they do like that. Now you have to keep being that fake version of you. Now you have to keep putting on the mask. Now you have to keep playing that character because they like that illusion that you presented to them. They don't know the real you because you were too insecure and afraid to show the real you, because you're probably afraid of the real you being rejected. You're probably afraid of them not liking the real you. And when you do finally take off that mask and present to them the real you, chances are they might not like it because you lied to them, because you aren't being truthful. If you have social anxiety and this all seems too much for you, just let's take it back. Let's start slow. Start by just saying hi to 3 women a day. Any sort of women, just as you're walking down the street, you see the old lady who lives next to you, just say hello. Hi, good morning, how's it going? Keep it simple. Slowly start warming up your social muscles. Gently work them until you can progressively overload and get a little stronger and do a little more and start having longer interactions and talk for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You don't have to do anything else. Just talk more often. Get used to speaking to women. Get used to interacting with them in a normal human to human way. Just relax and take it easy. Let's be real, dude. When women are really interested in you, they will let you know. They will make it clear and obvious. It's just up to you to sit back, relax, and pay attention. Pay attention to the signs that she's giving you. Because at the end of the day, having game just comes down to having basic social skills. If you can have a conversation with the old lady who lives next door, you can talk to that hot girl you always see at the gym, because they're both just human beings. Just relax and go with the flow. If there's a mutual attraction there, cool, go with that. If there's not, cool, go with that too. And if it's something in between, go with that also. Just go with the flow. Let things unfold. Go and talk to her and see who she actually is. Like, you see a cute girl, your mindset should not be like, oh my God, she's so bad, bro. She got a fat ass, bro. Like, no, you should see her and be like, oh, she looks good, but like, who is she? Who is that? Let go of this fear of rejection and living in a fantasy land and you just always having to be in your head about things. What's the right line so I don't get rejected, so she likes me? Who cares? Embrace the rejection. Embrace the fact that not everyone is going to like you and you're not going to like everyone else. And that's perfectly okay, because you're not going to be a good fit for everyone. When you understand that and you let go of this outcome dependency in all your interactions, and especially with your interactions with women, all of a sudden, it's so easy to talk to people. It's so easy to talk to women because it's like, oh, that's just another human being. I'm just having a conversation, connecting with my fellow human beings. And then you just enjoy your day. You just enjoy life. I hope you have a blessed day, my friend. I'll talk to you next time.